Hey Pisces and Pisces Rising. This is your astrological forecast for April 2025. If you're not sure what your rising sign is, don't worry. You can easily look it up online using your birth date, time, and location. And if that still feels confusing, just email me and I'll help you find out. Let's dive in. April starts with major shifts in your first and second houses, which means your identity, your body, your finances, your self-worth, and how you present yourself to the world are all front and center. There's no hiding here, you're on stage, whether you're ready or not. Right before the month even begins, on March 29th, we get a powerful solar eclipse and new moon in Aries, lighting up your second house. This is your money house, but it's not just about how much is in your bank account. It's about how much you believe you're worth. The eclipse acts like a reset button. You might get a new income opportunity, or you might realize something you've been doing is no longer sustainable. Either way, something ends, something begins, and it's tied to your values and your relationship with security. Then, the very next day, on March 30th, things get a little foggy. Mercury, still retrograde, slides into Pisces and immediately conjuncts Neptune, right there in your first house. That can feel like walking through a dream. You might feel spaced out, confused, unsure of what you want, or deeply inspired. Your thinking may be more intuitive than rational, which is great for creative work or spiritual insights, but not ideal for major decisions. So take your time. No need to rush, especially with money or contracts. Let your imagination play, but don't let it drive. On April 3rd, Venus meets the North Node in Pisces, again in your first house. This is beautiful. Something or someone may come into your life that helps you align more deeply with who you really are. It could be a relationship, a mentor, a client, or even just a new sense of personal style or purpose. It's as if the universe is saying, yes, that's the direction. Let it unfold naturally. On April 7th, we get a double shift. Mercury finally goes direct, so the mental fog starts to lift, and Venus conjuncts Saturn, also in Pisces. That's a big deal. Venus brings connection, pleasure, beauty. Saturn brings structure, responsibility, and limits. Together in your first house, they're asking you, what do you want to commit to? Who are you becoming? And how serious are you about showing up as your true self? You might feel the need to get real about your identity, your image, or even your relationship patterns. This could mean setting new boundaries or honoring ones you've already outgrown. Meanwhile, the second house continues to get attention. On April 12th, the Sun conjuncts Chiron in Aries. This is deep, subtle healing. Something about money, value, or self-worth that used to hurt may come into the light. Maybe you've felt like you don't deserve more. Maybe you've held on to scarcity beliefs. This is your chance to begin letting that go. To say, I am enough. I deserve to thrive. You may not fix it all in one day, but this is the emotional doorway to something freer. On April 13th, we get a full moon in Libra, landing in your 8th house of intimacy, trust, and merging. Financially, emotionally, spiritually. Full moons bring culminations and revelations, and in the 8th house, they often expose what's been hidden. This might be a moment where you realize you've been relying too much on someone else, a partner, a parent, a system, and it's time to take back your power. Or the opposite, maybe you've been holding all the control, and now you're being asked to open up, to trust, to let someone in. This moon can also bring up themes of debt, taxes, loans, or joint finances. You might resolve something that's been hanging over you, or finally make a decision about how to manage shared money. It's emotional work, but also practical. And it ties back to what's been happening in your second house. Your values are shifting, and that affects how you engage in partnerships of all kinds. At the same time, something powerful is happening in your first house again. Just a day later, on April 14th, Saturn, the planet of structure and life lessons, meets the North Node of Destiny in Pisces. This is rare and karmic. It's like the universe asking, are you ready to take full responsibility for your path? This moment marks a turning point in how you show up in the world. You may feel a push to define yourself more clearly. to stop hiding behind old roles or masks. It's about becoming the version of you that your future actually needs. And then, gradually, the tone starts to shift. From this deep emotional work, the light turns toward your third house. Communication, learning, siblings, short travel, and your mental patterns. On April 19th, the sun enters Taurus, moving into this part of your chart, and the mood becomes more grounded. You've gone through internal transformation. Now it's time to talk about it, share it, learn from it, teach it. The third house is also your everyday environment. The conversations you have, the emails you send, the thoughts you entertain. With the sun here, your mind gets busier. You might feel pulled to study something new, write more, speak more honestly, or open a dialogue you've been avoiding. It's an excellent time to work on content, marketing, publishing, anything that lets you express your voice more clearly. And this all builds to a new beginning. On April 27th, we have a new moon in Taurus, also in your third house. This is your invitation to start fresh with how you think, speak, and connect. It could be the beginning of a writing project, a course, a negotiation, or a new agreement. Maybe you commit to learning a skill, launching a newsletter, starting a YouTube channel, or simply being more direct in your conversations. It's grounded, practical, and long-lasting. And it gets even better, because throughout this period, Saturn in Pisces is forming a supportive sextile to Uranus in Taurus, activating your first and third houses together. That's structure meeting innovation. You can reinvent how you think, speak, and relate, but do it in a way that actually lasts. This is the kind of aspect that helps you break out of mental patterns that used to limit you and instead build new, steady habits of communication, learning, and self-expression. After all the deep emotional work and mental downloads of the last few weeks, late April says, okay, now let's do something with all of this. It's time to get organized, get active, and get things done. That's because on April 18th, Mars moves into Leo, activating your sixth house, the part of the chart that rules work, daily routine, physical health, discipline, and service. And Mars in the sixth? It's like setting your calendar on fire, in the best way. You'll feel a surge of energy and urgency. Tasks that felt boring or repetitive may suddenly feel like a mission. There's more focus, more drive, and often more pressure. You might take on a new project, tackle a backlog of to-dos, or jump into physical training or wellness routines. Mars wants action, so if you've been sitting on an idea, this is the time to act. But watch out. Mars in the sixth can also stir up tension at work, especially if you feel like you're carrying too much or not being appreciated. You may feel the need to assert boundaries with coworkers or say no to things that drain you. It's also important to avoid burnout. Mars gives you energy, yes, but it doesn't always know when to stop. So build in rest where you can and don't ignore your body's signals. Meanwhile, something sweet is brewing again in your second house of money and value. On April 30th, Venus enters Aries, reactivating this house with confidence and desire. Venus in Aries doesn't wait around. She sees what she wants and goes for it. And in your second house, that means you're ready to increase your income, make bold financial moves, or invest in something or someone that reflects your worth. This could be the start of a new revenue stream, a raise, a sale, or a gift. You might suddenly feel like it's time to charge more for your work or to spend money on something that makes you feel powerful. It's not about wasting money. It's about valuing yourself enough to spend and earn intentionally. This placement is especially good for bold money-making ideas or treating yourself to something that symbolizes your growth. Remember, the second house isn't just about cash. It's about your relationship with what you have and what you believe you deserve. Venus in Aries helps you start living like you believe in your own value. By the end of the month, what began as confusion or emotional weight starts to feel like focus. You're no longer questioning whether you're ready. You're simply moving forward, step by step. Yes, April was intense. Yes, it asked a lot of you, but it also gave you a blueprint, a new sense of self, new priorities, new energy, and a stronger voice. And guess what? You're just getting started. If this forecast resonated with you, don't forget to like the video, Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the May forecast, because the story keeps unfolding. Thanks for watching, Pisces. See you soon.